we're going to take a look at page 380 of the Boy Scout Handbook, and it's called Taking Care of Your Pocket Knife. And first step is to open up every single one of the blades. That way you can see what there is, how dirty it is. You can get all the lint out. On page 380, it reads, "Most pocket knives today are made of metal that won't rust. However, dust and lint can collect inside the knife, and normal use will dull the cutting blades." So we're just using Q-tips, and on the left is some water that we're using just to dip a little bit, just to get a little bit moist, and work back and forth to get as much of that dirt and grime off. As you can see, there's quite a bit that came off. I like Q-tips just because there's two sides. You can go through and as soon as the first side is really gross and disgusting, you can actually use the next one to clean. And we have to the right of that is a little capsule of oil. I'll talk about that a little bit later. So now that you have everything washed out and cleaned out, get another Q-tip, a dry one. It'll still pick up quite a bit of dirt, but this is also part of the drying process to get all that moisture out of your pocket knife, so that the blades aren't sitting there in any type of moisture. Even though it's not too much, it probably won't do any damage, but just to be safe. So this is actually valve oil for trumpets. It's also used for trombones for the slide, and I like using this just because we have it handy with our families. Does band with school, and so it works very well on the blades. And you want to put a little bit on the Q-tip and just work that into wherever there's a hinge, wherever it moves, and that way you can actually make sure that everything is clean and it's moving perfectly, and move it back and forth a little bit. There's some little sticky spots. Go ahead and dab a little bit more on there and work it back and forth just to make things a little bit smoother. And then go ahead and do that with the rest of the blades. And then with the can opener right here, we actually have a little bit of rust that's on that, and scrubbing some of the oil on there and just working it back and forth will take off some of that buildup and some of that rust, and clean up the can opener a little bit, especially if you use your can opener for actually opening up cans. That it can get rusty with that, with some of that food product that will actually get on there, and so you want to make sure that you always clean that as quick as you can. And that's it. Your knife is nice and clean, ready to go, and ready for your next camp out.